We are all granted an equally fair asset 24 hours each day. Yet while some people create extraordinary things, others remain trapped in a cycle of stagnation year after year. The difference does not lie in talent or luck, but in how we treat our most precious resource, time. Most of us live as if we have endless tomorrows, not realizing that next time is the silent thief that steals our dreams. Elian was a young man who possessed everything one could wish for. He had a natural intelligence that always earned praise from his teachers, lived in a well-provided home, and received boundless love from his parents. Yet Elian was stuck in a destructive habit. He always procrastinated. Whenever his mother asked him to clean his room, he would reply, "I'll do it later." When his teacher assigned homework, Elian would tell himself, "There's still plenty of time to finish it." Even when his friends invited him to join skill or music classes, his answer was always, "Maybe next time." Day after day, month after month, time passed without waiting for anyone. While his peers became proficient in musical instruments, excelled in their studies, and developed remarkable talents, Elian remained in the same place. He was like a tree that refused to grow while the entire forest around it stretched upward, lush and full of life. The turning point came when Elian received the result that he had failed an extremely important exam. He sat alone, feeling disappointed and confused about himself. Seeing his son's distress, his father gently said, "At the edge of town lives a wise man. Perhaps he can help you understand what you have long been missing." The next morning, Elian went to the wise man's simple hut. Beneath an ancient tree, the old man was meditating with his eyes closed. When Elian approached, the sage opened his eyes and smiled, asking, "What troubles you?" "Young man," Elian replied irritably, "Respected sir, everyone keeps saying I'm wasting my life, but I'm still young and have a long future ahead. Why should I rush?" The wise man nodded slightly and began telling him the story of a fisherman to help Elian see the truth he had always refused to face. The wise man smiled gently, his eyes distant, as if seeing through the flow of time. He began to tell the story. In a small fishing village, by the river, there was a poor fisherman. Every day, he would rise at dawn to cast his net and make a living. One early morning, darker than usual with the moon and stars, hidden behind black clouds, he accidentally stumbled upon an old cloth bag along the path to the riverbank. He bent down to pick it up and found it surprisingly heavy. It must be a bag of stones some child forgot, he thought to himself, and carried it to the river to wait for sunrise. In the thick darkness, with only the sound of the water gently flowing, he felt bored. He reached into the bag, took out a stone, and threw it hard into the water. The splash echoed in the stillness, bringing him a strange sense of amusement. He kept throwing them one by one. With each stone cast away, he reflected, "A person's life is like these stones, heavy to carry, but if you toss them little by little into the river of time, they leave no ripple behind." He threw them lazily, enjoying the varied sounds as the stones struck the water's surface. When the horizon began to glow with the first orange rays of dawn, he realized he had only one stone left in his hand. The moment the first sunlight of the new day touched it, the object suddenly sparkled brilliantly. His heart tightened, his breath caught in his throat. It was not a stone, but a priceless diamond. "No, it can't be," his anguished cry rang out too late. He frantically turned the cloth bag upside down, but it was empty. The fisherman collapsed by the riverbank, staring at the water that had swallowed a fortune capable of sustaining his family for generations. In the ignorance of the darkness, he had thrown away his chance to change his life with his own hands without ever realizing it. Silence enveloped the space beneath the ancient tree, broken only by the rustling leaves, like the sigh of time itself. The wise man looked deeply into Elian's eyes, which were filled with confusion, and gently asked, "Do you understand the meaning of this story?" "Young man," Elian shook his head slightly. His mind was still stunned by the image of the fisherman losing his fortune. The wise man explained softly, "You are that fisherman, and your life is the bag filled with diamonds." He pointed toward the rising sun. "Each day, each hour, each passing moment is a priceless gem, but in the darkness of ignorance and laziness, you are throwing them away, thinking they are nothing more than worthless pebbles." He emphasized that whenever Elian said, "I'll do it tomorrow," he was in fact throwing away today's diamond. When he told himself he was still young, he was wasting the treasures of his youth. People often believe they have endless tomorrows, just as the fisherman believed he had a bag of ordinary stones, not knowing that once time is lost, it never returns. The darkness in the story represents the lack of awareness of life's limits. By the time the light of understanding appears, most people have already thrown away most of their wealth. Seeing the regret on Elian's face, the wise man lowered his voice full of hope. But this story is not only about regret. You are still young. The dawn of your life has only just begun. He placed his hand on Elian's shoulder. The fisherman had only one stone left when the sun rose, but you are more fortunate. You still hold many years ahead of you. The question is, will you continue to throw them carelessly into the river of waste, or will you cherish each one to build the life you dream of? Tears rolled down Elian's cheeks, but they were not tears of sorrow. They were tears of gratitude and determination. He bowed deeply before the wise man. "Respected sir, I understand now. I will not throw away a single diamond again." From that day on, Elian completely transformed. He was no longer the young man who constantly said later. When his mother asked for help, he acted immediately. When his teacher assigned work, he finished it the same day. He seized every learning opportunity with both hands. This change astonished everyone. The one once considered the most procrastinating in the region became the most disciplined and reliable. Many years later, having become a successful and respected man, Elian would often smile as he retold the story of the fisherman to those who sought his advice. He always ended with this message: "We all have a bag of diamonds. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who fail is not talent or luck, but that successful people treat time like diamonds while others treat it like stones." The dawn is rising in your life right now. Do not wait until the bag is empty to realize its value. Stop procrastinating and start living, for every moment is a diamond waiting to shine. Many years later, Elian was no longer the young man who stood still while the forest grew around him. He had become a successful, dignified man who earned deep respect from his community. People often came to him to ask about the secret behind his discipline and the extraordinary achievements he had attained. Each time, Elian would simply smile and retell the story of the poor fisherman and the bag of diamonds lost by the river long ago. He always reminded people, all of us are carrying on our shoulders a bag filled with priceless diamonds, the very moments of our lives. Yet, in the darkness of ignorance, we treat them like ordinary pebbles, throwing them into the river of waste by endlessly scrolling on our phones, postponing important tasks, or even delaying the pursuit of our own dreams. Elian emphasized that the only difference between those who reach glory and those who remain stuck is not talent or luck, but how they value the resource of time. Successful people see every passing hour as a diamond that must be polished, while others regard it as something cheap that can be discarded in exchange for temporary pleasures. He taught that tomorrow is in fact merely an illusion people create to comfort the laziness of the present. In reality, only right now is the perfect moment to act. The greatest lesson Elian left to future generations was awareness. He called on each person to stop living like someone ignorant of their most precious capital. Instead, become a mindful individual who cherishes every second, for it is the only currency that once spent can never be recovered. You cannot control the flow of time, but you have full authority over how you use it, Elian would often conclude. The dawn is shining brightly in your life right now, and your bag of diamonds still holds precious gems that have not yet been thrown away. The most important question is not how much you have lost, but what you will do with the diamonds still in your hands. Do not wait until the light of understanding comes too late. Begin living and shining from today. Elian's journey did not end with a full stop, but with a persistent invitation sent into the future. He often said that the greatest difference between those who reach the summit and those who remain at the foot of the mountain lies not in talent or luck, but simply in the fact that successful people treat time like diamonds while others regard it as pebbles. Elian deeply understood that tomorrow is merely an illusion we create to soothe the laziness of the present. We can never walk back along the river to retrieve the diamonds that have already been thrown away, but we can fully control how we value what remains in our hands. As long as you are still following this story, it means your dawn has not yet faded and your cloth bag still holds the priceless treasures of your life. Do not live like someone ignorant of this most precious resource for even one more second. Commit to becoming a mindful person, someone who understands that every passing hour is a diamond that can never be recovered. Do not wait until the light of understanding comes too late, when the bag is already empty. Stop saying later and begin truly taking action right now, because every moment is a diamond waiting for you to polish it and let it shine.